everyone, it's Warren from NQ Explorers. Today Colin and I are at the site of an 1880s river port that served a goldfield. You've seen me do videos in this area before, particularly the Malaytown area, and also a bit of video on this bottle dump here. But today we're going to spend the whole day working this bottle dump. We're here early in the morning because it's nice and cool. It's going to be quite hot today, but we're going to do a few hours and maybe have a break from it and do a bit of detecting. But let's see what we can find here today. We found some lovely bottles in here in the past, and Colin's just specced this tiny little porcelain teacup, possibly a child's dinner set, a play cup or something like that. We don't really know, but we'll be back shortly and see what bottles we can get out of this dump. Here's our first find. It's not a bottle, it's a button. Colin just found it on top. So this is the kind of stuff that's through here. There's a lot of rubbish too, but we'll run the metal detector over anything we rake down and see what else is in here. Well, here's our first complete bottle of the day. A lovely old Outback and Company bottle. You can see it's embossed there. No chips or marks on it at all, so that'll clean up nicely. Actually, it's quite clean inside too. It's a nice example, that one. Beauty. Here's the next bottle coming out. I've just got to loosen the soil. It's hard baked clay and haven't had any rain out here for so long. The ground's that hard, but this one's intact for sure. We'll have a look at it when I get it out of the ground, which might be another few minutes yet. Well, we've just got a few glass stoppers. Another bottle coming out. Most of them are these green beer / wine bottles. Haven't found anything really unique. The only branded one was that Outback and Company bottle, but that's like a little wine or champagne bottle. Definitely 1800s though. Well, we've moved on to Malaytown, so this has become part 4 of a 3-part video. I did 3 videos in here a year ago or so. The bottles are getting a bit hard. We've got a few bottles out of there, but it's getting a bit hot and it's hard work digging that dump, and we weren't getting anything really unique. A lot of old beer and wine sort of things, but anyway, we've got the AT Pros out now, and we've got the small 5x8 coils on them. The reason is there's a lot of targets in here. There's so many targets, in fact, that I can do a 4th video. So with the little coil we'll be able to get in amongst all those bits of rubbish and iron better than the big coil. I only had the big coil last time I was in here, so we'll have a crack at this, both of us, and see what comes out. Back shortly. Just a bit of recap on the history here. The site dates from 1888. It was known as Malaytown because of the Malay fishermen that were here. There's a big tidal river behind us, and they worked the area obviously as fishermen, but they came down here initially when the pearl trade on TI went to deep sea diving. So they came down here looking for work in Australia, particularly here on the edges of the goldfields, where there was a lot of work for servants and market guarding and that sort of thing, because the racial discrimination was pretty fierce at the time, and Asian immigrants weren't to stay in the main part of town. They weren't allowed to live in the white part of the town, so they had to live out here in their own little shanty town. There was a series of brutal murders here one night back in 1888, and the Asian population was pretty much run out of the place. The police had to lock them on a prison hulk in the river for their own protection until the rioting stopped, and eventually they were deported back to the north. So not a real great history here, but there's been a lot of relics found by us over the last few videos, so hopefully we'll find a few more in here today. Back shortly. Good example of how this little coil makes a difference, picking up tiny little targets out of the all the junk here. What'd you find there? Oh, look, see, this is the kind of stuff that's laying around here. There's a lamp burn on the surface. Now I just got this brass saddle stud out of this bottle fragments up here, so the little coil gives you the target separation and it allows you to do that. Here's an example of how undisturbed these sites are if you do the research and you're the only person who comes here. This little bunch of ornamental brass grapes I filmed nearly 12 months ago, and I forgot to put it in a pouch, and it's still here. That was a surface find, I didn't dig it up. Look at that. It's been some sort of, oh, who knows, part of a lamp or something, but little brass grapes on a vine. Nice. Little mound here which has been productive in the past. What have you got here? Oh yeah, they're square nails. See, this is what the Malay fishermen, I reckon they had their boats up here and careened them, because look at that. It's an old handmade brass nail. Beautiful. And there's a lot of those on the site. Well, that little call strikes again. I just got a coin. It was a 77 amongst all the rubbish. I fear it may be... Oh no, look at that. What is that? Oh no, it's a 1 cent piece. That's what I did fear. Oh well, that doesn't matter. It's a coin. Well, there's a ripper of a find. I mean, this has been sitting on the ground for a very long time, maybe 100 years, and I've walked past it before. Little glass marble. Just depends on the light conditions. Look at that old thing. That is a really old one. Blue and white glass. Ripper. Next target, which is quite deep for this site. Most of the stuff here is fairly shallow. Is a clock cog mechanism part. That was an 80, low 80s. More surface finds, a large harmonica reed. Like I said, there's not much depth to any of these targets. None on that one. Another surface target's a Paris buckle. I believe it to be one of those buckles with Paris and the date on them. I may not have it written on it, but similar design off braces, suspenders type of arrangement. More surface targets, an old timer's brass button. Beauty. Well, there's so many targets in this area in the 60s, 70s and 80s, it's hard to dig down in the 50s, but this one was a 58 and it was lead. The reason I dug that was because I know a half sovereign's 58 on an AT Pro. But out with it came this beautiful mauve glass, slight tinge of mauve glass bottle stopper. So that was nice, it was worth digging that little bit of lead. Beauty. Well, you could relic on here without a metal detector, obviously. Look at this. Beautiful old button. Clearly visible writing on it, just lying on the surface. Best ring edge, I think it is. Oh, best solid ring. I think that's pretty sure. That's one of the branded buttons we get up this way. Nice. Lots of kangaroos and wallabies in this area, especially in the evenings and the mornings. You can see one's just stopped here and have a bit of a break in Malaytown. He's rested his front paws in the sandy soil there. Colleen's just picked up a surface find over here. She's got a couple of buttons, she informs me. Brass. Oh!
Not sure what it is.
I was going to say it's a clock part, but I've never seen a clock shaped like that. Well, it's possibly a clock with some sort of, who knows. Yeah, that was on top of the ground.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, how's this for an old handmade Victorian relic? It's a lead rabbit. It was a 68 signal, and I'll tell you what, there's that many signals in the 60s and 70s and 80s on this site, you have to dig them all. I'm in despair of digging a sovereign, because that'd mean I'd have to dig the 50s too. But look at that little handmade jobby. It's got a flat back, so maybe it was mounted on something or it went up against a wall, but nice one. Well, this target started out in the 70s and ended up at 65, and it's a coin. It's come out of the side of the hole. Well, it's quite thin actually. Wonder what this is. Looks to be about halfpenny size. I think it may be a halfpenny. I'll give it a clean and we'll get a date off it. Hopefully that's Victorian, around the 1800s, 1880s. It associates it directly with Malaytown. We'll have a look. Well, there's a coin. I've just given a quick bush clean. It's evident that it's a Victorian halfpenny. I can see Victoria on one side. Well, it looks to be in good nick. Look at the corner down there where I've cleaned it. And Britannia on the other. But I'll have to give this a bit of a clean with a soft toothbrush back at the Land Rover, and I'll get a date. But that's an old Victorian halfpenny, which I'm going to predict that'll be 1870s, 1880s, directly associated with this Malaytown site. We've given this a bit of a clean down in the billabong there. It's not as clean as it's going to be, but it's pretty sure it's 1883 Victorian halfpenny. So that dates directly from the time when this was Malaytown. That's a great find, that one. I'm really happy with that. Colin's just got another relic over here. Looks like another target next to it too. Oh, what is it? Oh, it's an old three-piece wooden folding carpenter's reel. Beauty. Well, it's shipwrights. They would have been definitely measuring and building and repairing timbers and things, so that's a nice find, that one. Tell it's beautiful weather in here today. Nice breeze. It's quite warm, but there's a lovely breeze coming from the east. Makes it a real pleasure to be out. And the one thing about this site that makes it a standout spot from a relic point of view is the fact that it's such a small area and there's so many targets in one concentrated area. I don't really know, but I imagine this Malaytown, this shantytown was a very small community. There's 80 or 90 people, obviously bunched in a small area for their own protection in some ways, I guess. But Colin's just down here on the lower part of the site. She's specked a button, did you say? Oh yeah, look. A lovely green patina, this, because it's a saline environment here, the river down there is tidal salt. It's about 200 metres away. Oh yeah, it's branded, Ripper. Nice one. Okay, and look at this here, an escutcheon, just sitting up in the rocks. I guess the last wet season, or what there was of it, has revealed that. Nice. She's got this little brass buckle which was half out of the ground, but that's a probably a little bit of horse tack, I guess, off saddle or bridles.
80.
More surplus ones here. Colin's got an 80. I don't know what this little relic is. Actually, next to it you can see one of those old part of a square nail. No, it's snapped off, but it was obviously performed an important function once. I'm not sure what that is. We thought it was a key at first, but it's not a key, I don't think. Okay, I've got a solid 84, 85 here. I'm going to risk a live dig. Quite shallow. It even jumps to 86, so could be cut brass. A lot of that here. Or plate, sort of platey brass. Function unknown. But it might be a coin if we're lucky, with a number like that. It's on the bottom of the hole. Have a look at the probe pointer. Okay, she's up in there. Inside. Let's pull all this soil back and see if we pick it up in that clay. Usually the targets are actually embedded in the clay. Come free sometimes. Okay. Like that big chunk. Okay. See what we got. Okay, the target's been disturbed, as you heard there. And this is what I've disturbed. Great hunk of snapped off or destroyed. But I think it's just solid brass. It's a huge hunk of metal. That's why the probe pointer was sounding off on two sides of the hole. No worries. Okay, Colin's coming to another area that in all my visits, I've never moved into this area, probably about 150 metres from the main hunt zone where we've been working, and she said she just found a sunbaker. Oh, look at that. A sunbaking halfpenny. What a beauty. Look at the patina on that thing. We'll dig, let's have a look at it, see what, oh, is it a Britannia?
I think so.
What's the monarch on there?
1959.
Oh, it's an Australian, is it a kangaroo?
Oh, 39.
Oh.
1939.
Well, who was the king on the other side? Bit hard to make that out, isn't it?
It is a bit.
Oh, is it,
oh,
it's
yeah,
KG5.
no, yeah, George.
Yeah, nice. Nice find. Well, we're just going to go and have a bit of lunch and a cold drink, so that's the half-time break if you want to make yourself a cup of tea or have a coffee or something, or a cold beer. Back shortly. Okay, Colin's got a shallow 85, 86 here. Let's see what this is going to be. Haven't seen anything come out then. Might be up in the toe with the coil there more. What is it? Oh. Is it a buckle? No, it's a piece of... That's a common find here, big hunk of brass. Don't know what that is. It's been shattered or broken in some way. Yeah. At the back of Malaytown we've got these two billabongs. I'm just, there was a couple of brogues in here earlier on. I just want to make sure there's no big reptiles in here. Because it's quite possible. There's a 5 metre crook down in the river, I've just been told. And I don't know what's up in here. Looks like it's, if there's bird life in there, oh yeah, there's a jabiru on the other side, or no, it's a stork of some sort. Doesn't look like there's been any crocs in here. There's no mudslides or track marks. Colin's just got a little bike bell, is it? Oh, a little tiny one. We found quite a few of these in this site on the previous videos. Obviously, preferred mode of transport was the bicycle and the horse. Yeah, it's a bike bell, a little tiny one. Beauty. I just got this nice little relic here. It's brass, or copper, brass probably. Looks like it's a leg off a bit of tableware or some sort of stand or something like that. It's a nice cast little piece, and it's been screwed onto something obviously, but yeah, it's a nice little relic actually. Well, there's another curious relic. It was just that little leg stand thing I found. Very finely turned. Copper rod with a sphere on the top. No idea what that's off. Colin's just working along the edge of the billabong here, and she's got a find up here in the grass. What did you say it looks like? Spoon.
Just got to finish digging it.
Oh, okay. Well, continue. Oh, it's the bowl of a
I think it is.
a tablespoon or something. Oh, nice. That's going to be complete. Just got to dig along the shaft, and we'll reveal it when it comes out of the ground. Okay, here comes the spoon. The bowl's cracked. They usually are. They've been flattened or something like that. Still in the ground, is it? Yep. Well, it's a very old spoon. You can see that's 19th century by the shape of the stem. It'll be hallmark for sure. Probably electroplate. Occasionally get sterling, but it'll have that. Oh, here it comes now. No, still hanging in that clay. No, you got it. Oh, nice. The patina on that. That's a nice old find, that one. That was quite deep too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
For this side, I mean, stuff's not usually that deep. Nice one. Well, these little mound areas have been very productive in this site. That's where most of the targets are. As you can see, there's a lot of broken ceramic and bottle. Colin just said she's got a part of a little doll. What, a ceramic leg or arm, is it?
No,
Hey?
a little nose and lips and a chin.
Oh, it's a little face.
Mm.
Oh, nice. And you just picked up a button there too, did you?
Yeah, just on the top.
As you can see, there's some beautiful old remnants of bottles in. The colours are brilliant, but no intact ones that we've discovered as yet. Well, before we go, I thought I'd go and have a look at a bit of wildlife over in this billabong, just over through these trees. There's a big freshwater billabong in there. There's two brolgas live in there. They must stay there at night because this morning we saw them fly out over to the river. And about 20 minutes ago they flew back into there, so they're up in the right hand side of this billabong. So if we can sneak in here, we might get a shot of them without disturbing them. They're probably just resting up in the water there on that western end of the billabong. Just going quiet here and we'll see if we can spot them. I checked before, there's no crocs in here. I couldn't see any. Otherwise I wouldn't be doing this. That's a shame they're not here. They flew down into the trees over here. Maybe there's a smaller billabong further on that I haven't spotted. But they're in here this morning, and it'll be sunset in about an hour and a half, and there'll be a lot of kangaroos and wallabies coming down to have a drink here. At night you get a lot of wildlife in these little freshwater billabongs. Oh, well, if I spot the brolgas I'll film them, but otherwise... Well, we're going to wrap it up there, everyone. I hope you really enjoyed that, because we enjoyed filming it. We had a great day in here and a lot of relics. Some couple of old coins there, which was nice. I guess you could call this part 4 of a 3-part series. Started out on the bottles. That went a bit pear-shaped early on. We were doing a lot of hard work there and we weren't getting any really good bottles out of that dump, so it's got to the point where you need heavier machinery, not hand tools. But anyway, we've had a great day in here. Thanks for watching, everybody. Happy fossicking. Bye for now.